Inside this project also we have security command center, which is part of the smart city, part of the data center. So we'll have a security command center for the city and can be connected to the rest of the country, what currently the Kenya Police Service is using. We've had impact on the community through this project. This is the recent status on employment. At the peak, we had over 2,000. There is also several subcontractors, so the real number is over 2,000. And the representation from different counties, you can see Makueni over 500, Machakos, Kajiado. I know Felix Tokiko has been quarreling me with the numbers, but we are working on that. And then the rest of the country. And these members have really helped us here, CS, because we used to have issues. So we are working on the cleaning. I had mentioned about this. I will not spend time. Another important thing, the long term is for us to impact on the innovation of our country. So when COVID came up, we will no longer run our innovation activities physically. So we did one of the first online, and at the end we were able to have many partners. We do the UNDP, many embassies, and we were able to get both local and global attention on innovation. We have now 15 startups that came out of this product, and we are working with them now to grow those companies. That is the area where employment issue of our country will be addressed. And our ministry has been really helpful. We have White will be one of that key. So phase one, that's how the phase one looks like. The ones in green means they have been allocated. The ones which are gray means they are under discussion for different uses. Just to explain a bit, major infrastructure, that's Nairobi, Mombasa on the other side. This is the other side facing the railway direction. So we have two, this is the road. The green is an open green corridor, just like Chivanchi, from one end to the other. So this first part is the commercial side. That's where you have the technology area. And this one is residential. We have our data center here. And this one is industrial and logistics. Residential and also retail, both along this road and along.
It's around in Konza, enact legislation at the county level on this is zoning construction here. Makueni, Machakos, Kajiado, they passed legislation to support the zoning of this place.
Yes, no can be done with the support of Ministry of Lands. We need to sign, the three of us, including guided by the fiscal planning. So it's an important issue, really, because even the investors, whenever they come, they like the planning we have. Then they say, what happens to them?
Yeah, we will miss out the opportunity. Why don't we actually convene a meeting with the three county governments and insist on a deadline for doing this? Because how will we lose the 50 by 100? Because once they start putting up a shanty.
They are willing. So far, we've had more than 3 meetings, and then we've agreed on documents, projects which...
We look for the governors to try and see what they can do a meeting this week with the three of them.
Thank you. Projects during when COVID came up with the engagement with Korea, and we had some sessions with it towards establishing a vaccine manufacturing facility, and Konza is identified the staff location, and we are very glad to from Korea ex-impact. The second one is the CS. We've had the ambassador of Israel been here twice in the last 3 months, and also from Korea Kotra, Korea Trade Agency, which helped us to do what we call pre-visit, which was successful. Now we are doing the feasibility study with the support of... This is domestic. You know, I pushed that through with the chairman. Asserted as a special economic zones concept, Technopolis land. Then we got the license as, we also got a license now as a special economic zones operator. So we were looking across the world to find who is the best partner for us to make this.
And all now even avocado, we should be doing them here. So those are the things we need to explain to Waziri, so that, you know, when we are saying we need some of Rwanda and coffee and tea to come here to be processed here, it's understood. So I hadn't seen this one, but that's one big area. No, the
Konza is a smart city. That was the small component which required. Second, with the digital transformation and the country setting up the infrastructure, including the providing storage, processing capability, and connectivity. And we've been able now to host a number of government investment opportunities.
And that one we will require again from CS and IG support for security.
Future opportunities is a lot of opportunities in ICT investment and to take advantage of our data center. We are discussing with several entities about the possibilities. We are now a smart city, so there is a potential for utilities and services, and other institutions, engineering services. We're looking at new technologies, whether manufacturing, robotics, all kind of enterprise engagement. And we are working very, I can testify, we've been able to engage the 3 counties to start teaching and engaging the young people in innovation activities. Senator Mutula Kalonzo has been very close to us on that. We have so many projects engaged, 2,000 at the peak hour. We have also had to address the issue of supporting the local centers on COVID. And every month over 50 million listeners has been a very instrumental and engaging them and other community here. We also doing some CSR across the 10 project. We are yet to hand over. This one is ready for Machakos, a sub-chief's office, which was built by one of our contractors. It's a CSR. The other one is an occupation block in one of the primary schools. Have not been received, and there are 2 key areas that has impacted us. There is a contractor supervising the works which are going on here. That one is GOP funds, and we are requesting for that support. The second one is the conference facility. We procured a contractor which is part of this building. This building has 3 components. This is the office floor, we have the conference facility, and the hotel. So we efforts. We can see Nairobi to JKIA, the expressway. It will give us huge impact as Konza. It will be quite easy for investors to try from anywhere to Konza. The Nairobi to Machakos expansion, which is ongoing, we appreciate SGR to see how we can be connected to Konza. And the southern bypass. Yeah. So if this can be looked at so that at least it's in the pipeline, they are not immediate like the first one.
But apparent ministries and so on. We can just resolve and do we can resume to those early morning things we used to do. Yes. So much. It's going to be easy for you to do transportation and whatever you want to do from that side, and move out because we are very close when you look at that. From scratch. So we thank God for the opportunity we have had to visit. And all those challenges we have, like doing the revolution in the career challenges, the wise like that. Look what we have now.
For the whole people represent, so that we live on site and can do this. We are doing the services that do development activities. We have to
mtu ambaye hajalima kitu anachofanya sasa hivi anachukua huyu anataka
mchunge nyuma. Okay.
So Joe, why don't you plant one too? You have worked for your lunch. This is a tree man. Things turn out good enough. If it doesn't grow, then there's a maisha matetu. Asante sana. Thanks, all the best. Thank you. Yeah. Asante sana. Let's go.
Kwa ICT. You are doing what reporting on camera.
Please.
Light from the origin of light begins and can you hear me?
Better, yes.
know, but like the normal ones, like the Nairobi.
Hi, how are you? Chairman.
The whole area is concerned, and then we make the actual investment. So it's free.
There are some person who can do that to invite all of you. Fred Matiangi, who has been part of this process.
Work and got support to be located at Konza. And when we had challenges, we were privileged that you became CS of Education and made this one happen. And MOUs were signed at State House with Korea, and really it sealed the foundations. We are at the tail end. The designs are finished. That's the final designs of what the building will look like. We are expecting probably this week the AG to clear the contractor's contract to design. So that's the only remaining.
I was going to ask, where are we with the construction for KAIST?
It has,
So what the AG has got to clear is the contract.
The contract for the contractor.
When was it submitted?
We submitted 2 minutes ago. It was probably waiting to be submitted, but
It's taking long.
we need intervention. I've talked to our CS.
But we should get it this week.
Yeah.
It's taken a very long
That's
time.
what I'm asking. What is the issue?
I can check in a bit.
Yeah.
We first as
Today, you want to talk about the upper engine and this I mean, this is very important.
Thank you, and it's really foundational for us. Thank you. Where we are, and we are very privileged that we are actually operating from our office. The other two are the national amenities. Turning a farmland into a city entails a lot of work. So we have several sub-projects in this, ranging from street like electrical, the pipes for the sewer, pipes for water, and all that. We have also what we call automatic waste collection, which is the first one in this region. That is for one tunnel, which now is not visible from the K to the other side. It's 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters tunnel, where we can lay all the infrastructure without interfering with the services. We talk about parks and open spaces. This is the real imitation on how it will look like. Security Command Center, the key project we are talking about today. We've had a long journey with the support of Ministry of Interior. In 2016, we got some officers who came to help us to do the conceptualization of a security facility in Konza area, the person who was in charge there. And then also 2019, now we established a team which was led by Masinde, and has worked with our team, and we brought in all the agencies from Defense, Interior, Public Works, Ministry of ICT, and others, and we worked all that journey to where we are today. Of a real modern police station, equipped for technology and equipped for future. So it has the office and residential. The white one you can see there is the residential. The black one is mainly the offices, and then there is the entrance, and also there is other like the canine unit is also into there. So we got a lot of support from Masinde and the whole team. We have not almost 12 representation of different agencies. They were able to visit also.
We used to walk in grass out here. We used to nearly attempt to see how we can run. Your colleague, CS Joe Mutero, who has been part of this journey, I want to extend special invitation to an acknowledgement to the IG, Mutiambai, for raising this occasion. And there are two, we have, these are very important people to us. They have been very, very supportive. can't imagine, even for a moment, having the kind of grade. The CEO is around, and we have one director around, Director Engineer Kaburu Murisha, who until some 2 weeks ago was in charge of infra. It's pure delight for us, and I want CSs, I want to acknowledge from the government, His Excellency the President. You know, we operate smoothly because those issues that cause projects not to waste time, all of them are sufficiently self-geared and self-driven. And from my profession as an architect, planner and landscape architect, I've seen something that I didn't imagine I would be able to see in my lifetime. The making of a city. CS, I want to tell you, CS Fred Matiangi, to what you have planned, something is absolutely wrong. But we are also aware that when you are making a city and bringing new ideas as we move along, so we are not stuck in a master plan just for the sake of. We are moving with new energy, getting renewed every day, and moving forward. And I want to give assurances to you, CSs, and this assurance is out in Machakos. There's a time they would laugh at me and point at me when I'm not looking. They said, look at that man. He has a city of only one building. This building.
We've just driven around with John. Yeah. And truly, as the Waheshimiwa are saying, the transformation even in the area is visible. This is transforming the community, it's transforming a lot of things. We know that, this is a long-term Vision 2030 project. So I think even as we look at this, we need to look at what happens next, even after 2022. We plan and make sure that we continue these projects fully, and we would like you to make sure this continues.
We are, of course, but we also need to ask our elected leaders.
Yes.
I have had the county government work and the national government work. Zoning is a very emotive thing. And it can be held hostage by the, sorry, I have to speak liberally because we are all Kenyans. Can be held hostage by some of our usual underdevelopment silly politics. And watu maskini, matajiri wanataka kutukalia and so on. The truth of the matter is this: anybody who cares about a project of this magnitude will look at it in a long-term sense. And maybe because of Corona now we have issues. I can't request you to take them to the next ITU meeting because you see in most cases when ITU happens, that is how we got to discuss with Korea. When we went to Busan for the ITU meeting with the members of parliament, that's how Korea came into being, for example, and see what the Koreans are doing and how they invest in this. Explain to our people to understand, we're not talking about the poor versus the rich. It's okay, you can repair your car and so on, but the garage must have its place. And the other guy who's building something must have
blueprint, which is there.
Hallelujah.
And so I think the current county government.
Everybody, as you know, this is it's a great day for us in the ICT sector. Konza, at least you've had an opportunity, for those of you who have been here earlier, to go around. You've seen that there's a lot of work going on. We've dug many tunnels. This is a state-of-the-art city, and we're very happy that it is going on very well. We've come here with the members of parliament who have just spoken earlier. My colleague and chairman, CS Matiangi, is also here, and the Konza team. And the whole security operators are here. Why? Because we are setting up state-of-the-art security center. So this is going to be the one that runs not only all the facilities and activities going on here in Konza, but will also supplement a lot of the other security work that will be going on in the country. So we're very pleased that CS Matiangi is here to break ground on this facility. It's a facility that will have, as I mentioned, the latest technology. In Konza here, we've got more than 4 fiber cables. We intend to add more. You've seen we've recently launched even 5G, so we expect all that technology will come here. And with all the other facilities we've put in place, security is at the heart, both the physical security as well as the cyber security. And so having this facility started here is very important. We expect that it will be completed by the end of the year, and it will accommodate sufficient officers to ensure that this investment is well protected, as well as what we call the Silicon Savannah. You all know that Kenya is well known for its technology and being a leader and a hub for the region. These are just milestones that we keep putting in place. The support we've had from His Excellency the President is enough. He's continued to give us as much as we've needed, and so it is us to now deliver and implement. And I thank the Konza team, led by the chairman and the CEO, for the great work that they've actually been doing in implementing. The contractors who we are working with for ensuring that this work is done, even during this time of COVID, with all the precautions that we've taken. We still have over 2,000 people working and ensuring that livelihoods continue. So work continues even during this time of the pandemic. And so I will not speak much more than to invite my colleague, CS Matiangi, who is the Minister of Interior and Coordination of National Government,
To just confirm and affirm again that this city, where we are now, it's just call for God's blessings. We have come a long way. We have had some challenges, but we as the local leaders, we've joined hands and we have moved together. That is Machakos County, Makueni and Kajiado. And that's why you see us here, because this project is one among the biggest in this country. We have come a long way, and let me appreciate the security agents. We have had some issues about the security, and we have all handled that through working together. Initially, you could get like 1,000 young men at the gate there waiting for some employment, and through the office of my office and the Konza City office, we've made some structures where whenever there is some jobs, there is a proper channel of getting into whom will work here. Let me say that through the government, we would wish to continue getting more support for these projects to be well done. Today with the CS Matiangi and a colleague, Keru, we have had some lengthy discussions on now every stage of every project will be made possible. And I'm very happy because we've gotten some solutions. There is no way we are going to just wait and keep on giving out things which are not moving on. And I can express to you that anytime the issues which have been pending will be solved. That one is an internal issue through the CS Matiang, and you know, whenever he is, everything moves on the way we expect. So, Bwana Matiang, keep up with your team, and we can see we are heading somewhere with the president's team, because I can say that the president does not want any project which is not moving on as expected. We don't want ghost projects, and that's why you see the team from the office of the president and headed by the CS Matiang are here to make sure that anywhere where we have a roadblock in the Konza City, all will be sorted out. Thank you very much, and I welcome you once again to this place, the place to be.
Sort everything out and work these things out. That's how we get our results, as it were. So if you work on a matrix, a comprehensive matrix, and you can classify the actions, the ones that we need to work on immediately and the ones that will follow, then CS and I will agree, we will grant you a one morning meeting every month so that we follow this. We call everybody on board so that during that meeting we follow up the actions and say, when the transformer, when are you going to put it? This day. By the time we're meeting next month, we are following on actions. Security will ask IG on what he needs to do to work on it so that we follow that. Otherwise, if we don't work that way, we'll have another meeting in this boardroom 6 months from now when you're telling us about all those things. Yeah. So let's just work on a matrix of actions, put it together, and I take with my colleague that we will have a meeting and sort things out. Already we have actually just agreed that we'll have a meeting on Thursday with the governors, with your chairman, so that we push that agreement on the zoning that needs to be done and so on. And after this meeting, IG and us will agree with the CS what we're going to do about security, so that we give you a comprehensive plan, we walk through it and get things done. Finally, I think, Chairman, what is important, look, as it were, but there's one thing we are very fortunate now, The recent changes in the treasury with the new PPP unit in the treasury, the brand new PPP unit in the treasury, we are beginning to see record turnaround. Can we translate some of the things we need to do into PPP frameworks? Even if we request the AG to actually second 1 or 2 staffers specifically to look at PPPs for Konza. Because we have seen incredible turnarounds recently, as well you can see clearly we're going to have some budgetary challenges. Let's sit down with our colleagues at the treasury with the PPP thing and get it done, you know, as a situation. Let's not lose time anymore on anything, because if we sort out some of those that we cannot fund directly from our budget into PPPs, we bring the collaboration of the 3 county governments on board, we have a matrix of actions, and we take up one morning a month to sort this out to Tasonga.
Yeah. Thank you.
Please.
We did it before, but I think there were challenges.
Now it's
No, it's, I mean, with the new changes now it's something. I mean, to tell you that even I am shocked, it's by the people that the president has brought in from the private sector. And you can see, because they understand this game very well. And then, you know, it's moving along. So the task is, give us that template, that matrix of actions. And I undertake, my colleague and I will tell you by close of play tomorrow, we will have gathered everybody for an initial meeting next week. Then we start working that part. Yes.
so Waziri, on behalf of the team here.
Just now while we were seated here for a meeting on Thursday, Mutua and Kibwana have confirmed, so I hope Lembu will confirm that we meet on Thursday. Then we agree on that MOU thing about the zoning. By the way, when you look at Kajiado County, for example, let me tell you the truth. When you look at the country, you can see how the potential of Kajiado is going to be affected by lack of zoning.
Yes.
It actually, all the huge potential of Kajiado might get lost because of lack of zoning. And it's not that you are telling people that you can't say because you are poor or you are rich. It's a bit of saying everyone has got their place. Things must be found in a particular place. You know, you can't live anywhere you please. You have a 50 by 100 plot here, an 8 here, 5 acres there, a butchery here, a bosho mill, a factory, and then next to it a private school. It can't work like that. We have to have a system where those people come, if I come to invest in my butchery and bosho mill, I know where to go. And if I want to go to the bosho mill, I know where to go. If I want to go to a butchery, I know where to go.
Actually, I think the first concern.
I hope we followed that thing you are saying.
Yes.
If we took the initial plan of Kajiado and started working on it, and our colleagues around here saw that, we can actually lose the potential of this place just like that on zoning alone. But then since we are meeting on Thursday with the governors, we can see how far we can go.
But yes, the first.
Bila sasa icha takuja kuwatoa, utasikia vile tutaambiwa. Sisi kazi yetu ni kusumbua maskini.
There's a lot of these chances in Malindi, but there's also some big. Actually, it's a whole mix.
Yeah, that's why when it comes from you as an elected leader, you face your county government and ask your colleagues who are elected, then including the members of the MCA, the county assembly. My brothers and sisters, we are not saying anyone leaves. We are saying we live in an orderly manner. There's a place for everyone, so that we can have a street. In any case, God forbid if there was an outbreak of fire, how do we help you? So there must be a place where there are streets, the quality of street. Meaning, when you talk about it and we talk about it, then it cannot be held hostage to hii style yetu hii miguu ya hapa kusema ni maskini wanasumbuliwa sijui nini, wakubwa wanataka kutunyanyasa. Yet you can see clearly what we need to do. So anyway, kutana kazi tukimaliza tutapembeleza governors to convene a meeting of all elected leaders from the counties. Tujifungie kwa room, tuongee tu kama viongozi. Otherwise you see all this investment we are saying that is going here. Utajenga building 3 ama 4. Ya 5 basi. People come and look at this and tell you thank you. Yeah.
It's true.
Mass infrastructure.
It's true.
So what do we have a ceremony at which they will sign an MOU, even if the MOU says they are committing themselves to passing legislation for zoning, number 1, and they are committing themselves to stopping approvals, number 2, until this zoning is agreed with the board. Then number 3, we provide them the backup they need to draw the legislation together with the public fiscal planning, so that we give ourselves a deadline and say by August legislation will be in place. They will have passed the legislation and the planning will be governed by that. Because if we don't work with a system Tutapoteza tu, I'm telling you the truth. Tutapoteza.
We've asked our next board meeting, we have asked that we meet
With the board, that's the first thing.
Right, okay.
Let's do it immediately. We tell the governors, you're going to bind yourself to this. We draw an MOU, we sign it. Then once we have signed it, that binds the county governments to begin working on that. Then we draw a roadmap from that MOU to having the legislation. It can't be more than 3 months because we all know what we want. Then now when you're working with Masinde, your people, ICT, the board, everybody's on board and saying this is how far we can handle and so on. Then they create an infrastructure in the counties which says they're approving no building around Konza until this legislation is understood and the zoning rules will prevail.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll do 2 facilities here and no other investor will come because they will come and see chanties around here and say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
The containment measures and so on. My brother, the Inspector General of Police, is here. We have all discussed this matter. We have a challenge in the country, but in the globe. COVID-19 is real. We have lost so many lives. As we have been advised by our colleagues in the Ministry of Health and the professionals in that sector, if we are not very careful, we will suffer more losses. And we don't want to lose our people. I know that it is tough. So we have agreed with my colleagues in the security sector. We are going to do our best to enforce the measures. But this time we have all agreed we will do so, first of all, from a very strong commonsensical point of view. And secondly, as always, we will do it as a family. So we are going to persuade our people to sikizane tafadhali. I mean, it's not fun. We are police officers doing 3 shifts on the roadblocks, 8 hours at a row. It's not fun. Everyone is having challenges. So to bebeane misiko kidogo, let us be understanding. And this is one time in our country when we have to move forward as a family, reduce negative pressures and negative issues, and do the best we can. We've asked our security officers wherever they meet wananchi, kama kuna shida tunajaribu kushauri watu wetu. We help our people to move forward and to respect the curfew hours and so on and so forth. We already have a challenge. We don't want to worsen it again by looking like we are aggressing or harassing our wananchi and so on. But we're also asking wananchi tafadhali, we don't want to lose you. We are doing all this because we want you alive. We are fighting for your life. We are all fighting for our lives. So please let us make it easier for all of us to fight for our lives together. We all want to be here, and by the grace of God we want to go over this challenge together. So wash your hands, keep social distance, sanitize, don't hang out to meetings where you don't have to be. So much as you good people ask us to do social distance, let me also ask you, please social distance. One camera is good enough. You can share the footage later, and God bless you. But I want to say that what you are seeing here, you can see a flurry of activity. A lot of work is going on. Konza is a reality and the work is happening. But I will not leave this place without thanking the elected members of parliament who are with us, and the governors of Kajiado, Makueni and Machakos. Just this morning, my colleague Joe and I have been in touch with the governors. We are meeting later this week to sort out issues of zoning and how this ecosystem is going to be protected so that we realize the results that we desire. Konza is now evidence of what happens when all arms of government, when leaders at all levels work together, cooperate, and focus on things that matter. What matters here is delivering this project for the people of Kenya. You have heard the attitude of the members of parliament who are here, very positive, energetic, and focused on ensuring that this project succeeds. You've heard my colleague. We are aligned as government. This is what His Excellency, our President, has required us to do. Focus and concentrate on work. Ensure that things are done. This is what we are doing. And all of us are here from the Ministry of Interior, not just because this is a police station, but just because we also have the responsibility of coordinating national government. My colleague, the Assistant Minister Winnie Gushu, is here with me. Our Inspector General of Police, the county commissioners of all the 3 counties around here are with me. And we are focusing on ensuring that we deliver this project. I think all stops have now been pulled. The challenges we had in terms of engaging partners have all been addressed. And you heard, as the members of parliament said, we have spent the morning in the boardroom there, literally negotiating and looking at what other things that we need to do to ensure that this project moves forward faster. And we agreed, whatever is left, like the colleagues in the Ministry of Water and Energy, we are going to have a meeting immediately and ensure that aspects of water provision are addressed. They are not big issues. We will sit before the end of the week with my colleague CS Keter and CS Kariuki and Joe here. We will resolve these issues. We are here to resolve issues and get things done. That is what we have been asked to do by our president and the head of state of our nation. And this is how countries are developed. So this is a very proud moment for the country to see this kind of progress. You know, when you hear 2,000 people are working and we want to put in another 2,000 or 3,000 people, it means progress for the country, and it means we are moving forward, and that is the direction we all want to go forward. So let's work together. I know somebody's going to ask me a question, so let me answer it before you ask me about